This is your wake-up call. Because in the next 21 days, you're going to meet someone you've never met before. Yourself. Unapologetic, unstoppable, and absolutely reborn. No more excuses. No more waiting for the right time. The right time is no double 21 days. That's all it takes to shake the ground beneath you and rebuild the person you were always meant to become. And I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here to move you. Let's begin. Change never introduces itself politely. It doesn't arrive when you're ready. It doesn't knock at your door with flowers and say, "Hey, let's grow today." No. Real change slaps you awake. It pulls you into discomfort, into pressure, into pain. And that's where most people tap out. That's where average lives are built, on the foundations of avoidance. Because comfort, for many, feels like safety. But the truth, comfort is a slow death. It whispers, "You're fine," while your dreams wither. It keeps you stuck in the same cycle, replaying the same fears, repeating the same patterns, convincing you that someday things will change. But they won't. Not unless you decide to get uncomfortable. Deliberately, ruthlessly, consistently. You've got to understand this. The life you're dreaming of isn't found inside your comfort zone. It's hiding behind every single thing you've been avoiding. Behind that 500 a.m. alarm you keep snoozing. Behind the conversation you're too afraid to have. Behind the risks you keep rationalizing away. Everything you want, confidence, clarity, transformation, is born in resistance. Comfort coddles you, discomfort carves you. The body that's out of shape, that changes when you push it through burn and breathlessness. The mind that doubts itself, that changes when you force it to sit with silence and still move forward. Change isn't something that happens to you. It's something you fight for, through the fire of your own resistance. For the next 21 days, make discomfort your home. Let it become the air you breathe. Do what scares you, not recklessly, but intentionally. If you've been sleeping in, wake up before the sun. If you hate being alone, spend an hour in solitude with no noise, no screens. If failure paralyzes you, chase a goal that might break you before it builds you. Stop asking for it to feel easy. That's not growth. That's fantasy. If your transformation feels cozy, you're not doing it right. Growth is messy. It's raw. It's showing up even when your mind screams no. It's fighting through the storm with shaky hands and a steel spine. And here's the twist. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your invitation. Every time you feel resistance, that's life pointing you toward your next breakthrough. It's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to refine you. Your fear of failure, that's where your courage is hiding. Your anxiety around judgment, that's where your voice begins to strengthen. Most people confuse fear for danger. But fear is a compass. It's trying to show you exactly where the gold is buried. If you want a life that means something, you've got to stop avoiding the work that hurts. Because the pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. You'll be shocked at how quickly you adapt when you stop resisting what's hard. The cold plunge becomes bearable. The early mornings become sacred. The tough conversations become liberating. You become someone who doesn't flinch, who walks into discomfort not because you like it, but because you understand its purpose. That's where transformation gets real. That's where your mindset stops reacting and starts rising. You begin to separate yourself from the masses, not because you're better, but because you're braver. Because while others wait for the path to get easier, you build caluses and keep climbing. So when that voice in your head tells you, "This is too much," don't back down. Don't negotiate with fear. Breathe deeper. Step forward. Double down. That's not the signal to quit. It's the signal that you're close. Closer than you've ever been. Anyone can live in comfort. That's easy. But to build a life that sets your soul on fire, to shatter the version of you that settles for mediocrity, that takes guts. That takes grit. That takes a mindset that says, If it scares me, it's worth doing. For 21 days, burn the bridge back to comfort. And walk forward, barefoot if you have to, into the unknown. That's where the real you is waiting. There's a version of you that has overstayed its welcome. The one who overthinks every move. The one who apologizes for existing too loudly. The one who says, maybe tomorrow, every time life calls them forward. That version, it's not just holding you back, it's burying your potential alive. And here's the hard truth. If you keep negotiating with that version, if you keep giving them a seat at your table, you'll never taste the life you were meant to live. You'll be stuck in a loop of almosts and maybes, watching other people rise while you drown in hesitation. You've got to draw a line today with blood-red clarity. The old you is no longer allowed to speak for the future you. Every time you let that old voice convince you to play it safe, to procrastinate, to aim lower, you're letting fear pilot your life. And guess what? Fear never drives you anywhere new. It just loops you back to where you've already been. Wounded, restless, and stuck. You say you want to change, but then you keep feeding the same patterns. You keep hanging out with the same distractions. You keep calling your comfort zone self-care, when really, it's self-sabotage in disguise. You've got to stop lying to yourself. That version of you, the overthinking, excuse-making, self-doubting version, doesn't deserve another day of your energy. Change begins the moment you get tired of your own excuses. And I mean truly tired. Not frustrated. Not irritated. I'm talking about that deep, soul-level exhaustion that hits you when you realize you've been playing beneath your power for far too long. That's when the shift begins. When you stop rationalizing why you haven't started, and you start getting furious with your own stagnation. That's when you silence the voice that says, but what if I fail? And answer it with, what if I don't? That's when you stop being emotionally loyal to an identity that keeps you small. And you start building a mindset that refuses to settle. You cannot become a new version of yourself while staying emotionally attached to the old one. There's no transformation without detachment. So let me say this clearly. You have to grieve who you've been. Mourn them. Thank them for surviving. But then bury them, because survival isn't enough anymore. You weren't built to survive. You were built to lead, to rise, to dominate. And to do that, you've got to starve the version of you that craves approval, fears judgment, and settles for average. Let them go. The future is not waiting for them. It's waiting for who you're about to become. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be done with pretending that the old ways still work. You need to show up messy, unpolished, but decisive. You need to stop making decisions based on your current comfort and start making them based on your future standards. From this point forward, every action you take is either a vote for your future or a vote for your past. You either rise or you repeat. That's the brutal truth. But it's also your greatest power. You get to choose. And the moment you stop negotiating, stop explaining, stop justifying, you start becoming. There is no magic in transformation. It's not a feeling. It's a decision followed by relentless action. It's waking up and doing what needs to be done, even when your mind begs for the familiar. It's choosing the hard path, because you know the easy one leads nowhere new. It's walking into discomfort and saying, let's go. Because the version of you who feared it, they're gone. You've burned the bridge back to who you were. No more talking yourself out of greatness. No more sitting on the fence of your own life. The old you is gone. You're not here to negotiate anymore. You're here to take over. The most dangerous voice you'll ever hear isn't from the outside world. It's the one inside your head. The voice that's been whispering to you for years. The one that tells you you're not ready. That you're not smart enough. That someone like you doesn't belong at the top. And the worst part, you believed it. Not because it was true, but because it was familiar. That voice was born in childhood wounds, failures you never healed from, opinions that were never yours. But just because it's loud doesn't mean it's right. And just because it sounds like you doesn't mean it's you. You've outgrown that voice. It's time to outtalk it. Every single day, you're in a war you don't even realize you're fighting. It's not against the world. It's not against your past. It's not against other people. It's you versus your own narrative. And the question is, who's writing the script? Because if you don't take control of your inner language, it will control you. It will limit your decisions, shrink your confidence, and poison your potential. That inner dialogue becomes your identity. And identity is everything. You cannot outperform your self-image. You'll never win a game where you're also the referee calling your own goals invalid. So how do you rewire it? You confront it. Not with passive affirmations, but with violent honesty and radical intention. You stand in the mirror and you stop repeating, "I'm trying." You replace it with, "I'm doing." You stop saying, "I hope," and start saying, "I decide." You don't whisper, "Maybe someday." You declare, "Today is mine." It's not about tricking your brain with fake positivity. It's about teaching your mind how to fight for you instead of against you. Every time that old voice creeps in, you override it with something stronger, louder, truer. You give your mind new lines to memorize. Ones that build you, not break you. You've got to speak to yourself like someone worth fighting for. Not in a soft, gentle way, but like a warrior preparing for battle. You don't need sweet talk. You need commands. You need to train your thoughts like a soldier trains for war. With repetition, discipline, and absolute purpose, your internal voice should become a weapon. One that silences doubt. One that destroys excuses. One that says, "I don't care how I feel. I show up anyway." That's how you rewire your brain. Not once, not twice, but every single day, until the voice in your head finally reflects the power you've been carrying all along. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel ready. That's the trap. If you wait until your mind is in perfect alignment, you'll wait forever. You speak it into existence. You don't feel confident. Say it anyway. You don't believe in yourself yet. Declare it anyway. The mind follows repetition, and it doesn't care if it's true or false. It just believes what it hears most often. So flood it with strength. Saturate it with certainty. You're not lying to yourself. You're reminding yourself of who you were before the world tried to make you forget. This is your new standard. No more mental self-abuse. No more calling yourself names in your head that you'd never say to another human being. No more doubting your worth because of one mistake or one failure. That inner voice, it's either building you or destroying you. There is no neutral. And the most powerful transformation you'll ever experience doesn't begin with a new job, or a new goal, or even a new habit. It begins the moment you choose to speak differently about yourself. From that moment forward, you stop surviving and you start rising. Your future isn't being stolen by failure. It's being stolen by distraction. Every scroll, every meaningless conversation, every hour lost in the void of comparison is quietly killing your momentum. You think you're just taking a break, but what you're really doing is leaking energy, leaking time, leaking greatness. And here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Not every voice should be allowed in. You need to stop letting mediocrity speak into your life like it has authority. You want to change in 21 days. Then get ruthless about what and who you let in. The people around you shape your standards, whether you realize it or not. If you surround yourself with those who gossip, complain and settle, you'll start to mirror that mediocrity. It won't happen overnight. It will creep in slowly. You'll laugh at the same distractions. You'll lower your goals to fit their comfort zone. And suddenly, you'll wake up wondering why you feel stuck. But you already know why. Because you chose proximity over purpose. You kept the familiar close instead of elevating your circle. And if you're serious about your growth, then comfort can't be your compass anymore. Alignment must be. Cutting the noise means saying no without guilt. It means turning off the background chatter of social media, of toxic relationships, of other people's expectations. You're not here to live a life that makes everyone else comfortable. You're here to shake the ground with your potential. And that requires solitude, focus, silence. You can't hear your inner voice when you're surrounded by outer chaos. So turn down the volume on the world. Go quiet, go deep, and listen to what your future is trying to tell you. It's not yelling, it's whispering. And if you're too distracted, you'll miss the message completely. This is about raising your standard so high that it becomes your filter. If it doesn't build you, it doesn't belong. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't stay. If it doesn't align with who you're becoming, it gets cut. Period. This is not arrogance. This is protection. Your energy is sacred. Your time is currency. And if you spend both on things that don't feed your future, you're going broke in the ways that matter most. High standards aren't about being better than others. They're about demanding better for yourself. Better effort, better environments, better thoughts. You set the tone for how the world treats you by what you allow, tolerate, and entertain. Discipline isn't just in your routines, it's in your boundaries. What you allow into your space, your schedule, your soul. You cannot rise if you're constantly accessible to everything and everyone. You need space to build, space to focus, space to hear your intuition over the noise of the crowd. Protect that space like your transformation depends on it. Because it does. Be bold enough to unplug, to walk away, to detach from things that no longer align, even if they once felt essential. Because elevation often requires isolation. And the price of growth is leaving behind what no longer fits the blueprint. So from now on, everything must go through a filter. Does this serve my purpose or sabotage it? If it drains you, delete it. If it distracts you, deny it. If it disrespects your vision, distance yourself. You are not obligated to explain your evolution. You are only obligated to protect it. The noise will always be there. Tempting, entertaining, easy. But so will regret if you don't take control. You've got a choice to make. Live your life on mute, letting the world program you. Or turn the volume down, raise your frequency, and finally hear the voice that's been waiting to lead you. The one that says, you were born to rise higher. Everyone wants the transformation, but no one wants to repeat the boring, brutal process that makes it real. They want the body, but not the daily sweat. They want the business, but not the long nights of failure. They want confidence, but not the silence it takes to build it from scratch. Let's get something straight. Results are not goals, they're reflections. They reflect what you've done over and over, not what you hope for once. If you're chasing outcomes without learning to love the repetition that creates them, you'll never make it. The process isn't the obstacle, it's the path. And the sooner you fall in love with it, the faster everything begins to change. You've been taught to measure success by what you can post, what people can see, what you can point to and say, look, I made it. But the real transformation, it happens in the shadows. When no one is clapping, when no one is watching, when it's just you versus your discipline, your hunger, your grit. If you only show up when there's a result to chase, you're not committed. You're addicted to applause. And that mindset will fail you. Because there will be weeks when nothing happens. When progress feels invisible. When growth is quiet. But that's where most people give up. Not because they couldn't win, but because they didn't trust the invisible grind. You've got to become the kind of person who gets excited about repetition, who finds power in the routine, who treats every rep, every page, every step like it matters, because it does. You don't build mastery in leaps. You build it in layers, in tiny, consistent acts done with intention, even when your emotions tell you to stop. Obsession isn't crazy. It's required. The world may call it extreme. Let them. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. The more you fall in love with the process, the more the outcome becomes inevitable. You won't need to chase results. Results will start chasing you. If you're bored, good. If it's hard, perfect. If it feels like no one notices, excellent. That means you're finally doing the real work. The quiet work. The kind of work that builds unshakable confidence. Because it's not built on outcomes. It's built on identity. You're not showing up because you need the result today. You're showing up because this is who you are now. You're no longer acting like the person you want to be. You're becoming them. And every task you repeat, no matter how small, is another brick in that foundation. That's how you rise. Quietly, daily, relentlessly. Stop checking the scoreboard every 5 minutes. Stop measuring your worth by how far you have to go. Measure it by how consistent you've become in the doing. Because that's the part you control. That's where the power is. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's inconvenient, even when it seems pointless, that's transformation in motion. You're reprogramming your mind to follow through. You're showing your future self that you're trustworthy. That's bigger than any number, any milestone, any external win. That's the kind of power that can't be faked. And it can't be taken from you. So lock into the process like it's your purpose. Let repetition become your rhythm. Let the ordinary become sacred. Don't do it for applause. Don't do it for validation. Do it because you said you would. Do it because this is your standard now. Fall in love with that. Because once the process becomes who you are, no one can stop you. Not the slow days. Not the setbacks. Not even failure. Why? Because you're not chasing a destination. You've become the kind of person who never leaves the path. Now you've heard the truth. Raw, unfiltered, undeniable. You've got the blueprint. You've got the fire. But none of it matters unless you move. This is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. You've got 21 days to burn the excuses. To rise through discipline. To meet the version of yourself you've only dreamed of. So start today. Start with the first rep, the first decision, the first step into the discomfort that's been waiting to shape you. No more watching. No more waiting. No more wishing. Decide who you are. Build who you want to become. And don't look back. Because once you commit, truly commit, the world won't recognize you. And that's the point. Now go. Transform. And never return to who you were. If this message lit something inside you, share it. Comment your day one. Let the world know you've begun.